Hendrix is a big one for Rob, and Stevie Ray Vaughan is a big one for Perry. And Perry liked the old AC/DC. Perry loved the old blues rock, the hard metal, not metal, but the hard blues rock too. All those Bad Company and all that kind of stuff. Perry was up, but Perry's Texas. He's from Texas, and he has a lot of Texas in him.
Gotcha. Now, what are some of the bands when you grew up that you were influenced by? And then we'll get to one of your tracks after that. We'll go about her. We'll play in a moment. What were you influenced by growing up? Or your big?
Well, I was a lot of influence. Okay, before I knew I was being influenced, I listened to all this rhythm and blues that my mother was listening to, including Tom Jones. She listened a lot, and I watched him a lot. All that. I don't remember being influenced, but it comes back to me now that was what, up to age 8 or 9, that I was listening to in the house at 2:00 in the morning. When Mother was sad, she'd be listening to Della Reese, Etta James, Aretha Franklin, Frank Sinatra, all that stuff. The emotional sides of all those artists. My mother was very cranking it. The whole house was just, it was just cranking in the whole house because she was sad. And so my whole thing with music was that music is when you're sad. Okay, when you're sad, that's what music's for. I always thought that's kind of how I grew up, that music was only for when you're sad so you could cry more, so that you could feel more. Okay, I didn't really see the fun side to music. And then I started listening to Cat Stevens. And Cat Stevens, if you listen to Cat Stevens, he takes the positive out of life and adds it to his songs. Even though he's singing about sad things, it's positive.
The Peace Train.
Okay?
Yeah,
the Peace Train. He takes sad things,
right.
Right, but makes it into this almost whimsical thing, okay? And so that says pretty much what my music is right there, is that I've taken really sad stuff, and I've tried to, not on all my songs, but most of my songs, spin it to a little bit that there's still hope. There's still hope. So those two experiences. And then, in high school and college, or not even high school, but in college, I started listening to, Sammy Hagar and Heart and some of that kind of stuff. But that didn't ever really influence me as much as Cat Stevens and then that old blues and standards and all that other stuff my mother would listen to. Della Reese was a big influence for me. Della Reese, even Janis. My mother listened to Janis Joplin, but I got into Janis a lot later in life. So. And nowadays, I love Teresa James and all the girls I know. I'm very inspired by. I know Deb Ryder and Sherry Porto, and they all influence me. And Beth Hart. Beth Hart's great. God, there's so many good ones now.
There's so many great ladies in California. Lori Morvan and Bridget Purdy.
Oh, Lori Morvan. Yeah, I love Lori Morvan. Yeah.
And
they're also,
they rock it. I'm so blessed to be able to play them because they come from, again, Betsy Brown and Blind Raccoon providing the great music that I got on my show. And that's how I got influenced and found your track was on one of her best of. And that's how I found Right Now. And that's how we started Touch Base. And you sent me some more tracks.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this is how it all... I just go with the karma. And I saw you play Bittersweet the other day. And here we are.
Cool.
Super. Let's go with it now. About her right now. Kelly's Lot. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you.
You came from a family of diamonds. You came from a house of gold. You could have it all that your heart desired, as long as you did what you were told. Gotta do the right thing, your mama always said. You gotta do the right thing, the right thing. What you gonna do about her? She came from a long it was wrong, that she didn't belong. So what you gonna do about her? Gotta do the right thing, your daddy always said. Oh yeah, you gotta do the right thing. Right thing. What you gonna do about her? You say that life ain't nothing without all that something, all the diamonds and gold. Life ain't nothing without that someone to hold. About her, she understood your emotions and gave you the key to your heart. She did something to you that was warm and true. Don't let it fall apart. Gotta do the right thing. Gotta do the right thing. Oh, gotta do the right thing. Oh, yeah, the right thing. So what you gonna do about her? What you gonna do about her? What you gonna do about her? What you gonna do?
All right, thank you again. Kelly is my awesome guest. That was about her. And hold on before the next song starts. Hello, Kelly. Welcome back to the Humagoo Show.
Thank you, Humagoo. I love saying that, Humagoo. I love Mr. Magoo, but Humagoo is even cuter. I like it.
Thank you. And, there's many times people don't even know who I am. I'm just Humagoo, and I play the music. It's all about the music. I'm just blessed to have you, your catalog, and all these talented people just to spread the power of music. And, when I grew up, I can still remember playing the Beatles when I was 3 years old. And I had all that bubblegum stuff, Donny Osmond, Partridge Family, and, that was always me. I had that. And it was, on my end, I guess, more of a happy side, but it was always on my end. And that was my influence in life. And so I'm just so blessed to be able to present it and have you on my show. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we thank you, all us artists. Thank you, podcasters and DJs, and for just wanting to, share our music. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, it's just a love of everything. Actually, I think the song was just playing in the background, Kelly. So we have these little mix-ups sometimes. So
that's okay.
Right Now is playing. We are right back, as I was saying. Tell us about Right Now and all this. Now I love this tune. This is just a jam.
Yeah, Right Now is just somehow, it was like Perry thought of that riff. He was playing that riff and in the living room, and I just started singing to it. And it's just basically about, not just saying I love you instead of all the BS, just say I love you. Go ahead and love somebody. Just take a risk. Live, right now, take a risk. And, it really just came from Perry's riffing and old rhythm and blues I used to listen to, kind of thing. And I don't know how that song was written. It just came out of the universe, But I do have a funny story about that song where when I used to perform it for years, and I just actually realized, if you're ever at a live show, you'll hear the story sometimes, is that I used to go, hey, everybody, before I play the song, hey, everybody, look to your left and say I love you. And then look to your right and say I love you. And then I realized, after doing this for 2 years, I realized when people are looking to the right, the other people are looking to the back of the other person's head. And so but everybody did it. And then And I'd say, look behind you and say, I love you, right? And then, of course, they're looking behind them, and the person behind them is looking behind. So nobody's getting to look at each other. And then I say, of course, look in front of you, and they're all looking at me, right, at the end. And say, I love you. And so I have the whole crowd saying, I love you to me, right? Mm-hmm. So this has been, like, my most fun game I've been playing for probably 3 years until, like, 2 months ago. I was doing it, and I realized, oh, but this isn't really working. And I felt so bad, and I had the whole audience laughing because I said, oh, I'm sorry. You guys are looking at the back of each other's heads. So I'm going to have to find a new game for Right Now. That was my Right Now story.
Well, that's a great story because as you were telling it, I was turning to the right and thinking about it.
Yeah, think about it.
What is she talking about?
Right.
Oh, yeah, I see that. And everybody's going that way. And, yeah, and everybody's going that.
If you
half go to the right,
exactly.
half go to the left, everybody. Now we got it.
You know? Every other person go right, but
right.
And that's what happens when you have attention deficit or when you're so excited or you're manic, all the things that we all have tendencies towards. When you're excited and you're having a great time, sometimes you quite don't understand what's going on, okay? And then it took me literally at least 2 years to figure that out. It's too funny.
And then when you know
embarrassing.
And then when you know what you want to, it's not embarrassing in so many ways. It's so funny, and it's great to tell the story.
It is funny.
Like you just did.
It's kind of like that thing where you're looking for your phone and you're on it.
Yeah. My sunglasses are on top of my head. Where's my sunglasses?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I know
right. That's. I guess that's a good thing because when you're living passionately, things like that happen. So, or when you're stressed out, either one. I don't know. Both. Sometimes those are the same thing: passion and stress. I don't know.
I love it. I'll tell you what. Let's finish out the song. I'm going to recycle it because it did play for a little bit. We're going to finish out right now. At the end, we're going to finish out. I'll play it completely for everybody. So here we go.
It got me this time. It shook me this time. It found me this time. Grabbed a hold of me this time. Right now, I'm gonna take a leap of faith. Oh yeah, right now, I'm gonna find the words to say that I love you more. It got me this time. It shook me this time. It found me this time. Grabbed a hold of me this time. Right now, I'm gonna open up my soul. Oh yeah, right now, I'm gonna let everybody, let them know that nothing's gonna make me turn around and go.
All you gotta do.
Thank you kindly. Kelly is back right now.